Welcome to the Insights Unlocked podcast. I'm Nathan Isaacs, Senior Manager for Content Production at User Testing. And joining us today as host is Michelle Engle, User Testing's Chief Product Officer. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Great. It's great to be here. Hi, everyone.
And our guest today is Andy O'Dower. Andy is Twilio's Vice President of Product Management for Voice, Video, and Flex. Andy possesses a rich blend of entrepreneurial, technical, and business expertise. He has founded and scaled platforms, as well as B2B SaaS and B2C products, serving thousands of customers and millions of consumers at companies like Wowza, Snapsheet, and Curiosity. Welcome to the show, Andy.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
So, Andy, thank you for joining us. I'm looking forward to the conversation today. And I was thinking, to get us started, why don't you give us a quick overview of what Twilio is and how the platform is used by businesses to enhance customer communication and experience?
Sure. Thanks for having me again. If you think about it, and Twilio just celebrated our 16th birthday, if you will, from conception 16 years ago to the really massive global scale that Twilio operates. If you think about it, the messages that you might get from a business, you want them to be personalized, effective, and that's really what Twilio does. It's a customer engagement platform to really drive personalized, real-time experiences and communications for brands at a global scale. So if you think about it, we've built this solution to a really difficult problem for businesses that need an easy way to communicate with their end customers and consumers. They need a big trusted platform that navigates every channel from email, messaging, voice, video, over the top channels like WhatsApp as well, and need that to just work and be simple to be able to access. They need all the contextual data to be able to serve those communications, to make them personalized. So you and I and others on the receiving end of any of those have a really delightful experience. And then, we've got a massive ecosystem of developers. That was really at the heart of the company founding, was making it easier to take all of these big complex communication systems and make them very simple APIs for developers and builders to build them into their applications and reach customers and consumers. And so you might see them in your everyday life of onboarding to the latest mobile app that you downloaded, and authenticating and making sure you're sharing with the business who you are and they know who you are. Very simple things like your one-time password that you might get from a business, to email marketing and promotions that you might get, or the ever important transactional things that money's in your bank, your package is arriving on time, to conversational. And that's really where, we play into that sales and customer service. So from everything from authenticating and security to marketing and promotions to sales and customer service, you can kind of picture that whole customer life cycle that you might have with a business. And then as a builder that you have with your end consumers, Twilio is right at the heart of all of those communications there. For context. So massive scale, and a great company to be a part of, that as communications is changing and shifting, with AI at the forefront, where we are right now. So it's a great place to be.
Amazing. That's a great overview. Thanks. Could you also tell us a bit about your role at Twilio? What are your main responsibilities? How does your team contribute to improving CX through Twilio's voice, video, and Flex products?
Sure. So at the heart of it, we have a saying, "Wear the customer shoes," as part of our Twilio values and Twilio magic. And at the end of the day, my job really distills on how do I help my team, and our company, my team of product managers, leaders, directors, work with our core design partners, core engineering partners, architecture, and our customers, and developer community to deliver the right product to the customers at a really big scale. And so that really distills down into understanding what these end consumers need and what our businesses need. So what are those jobs to be done? How are they really trying to reach their customers at the end of the day? How can we make our products better, easier, faster? We've really honed in on this, this idea of trusted, simple, and smart layers. So, how that relates to product management is going into our whole platform that's grown over the years to hundreds of thousands of customers, tens of millions of developers, to ensure all our communications trusted. At the end of the day, we all want to make sure that all the communications are trusted. And that can mean many things. That can mean reliability and scale of the platform. That can mean introducing things like branded calling in the voice platform, for example. So end consumers know who is the business that's reaching out to them. And that relates into messaging and email as well. Then, if we think about simple, then what are those ways that we can simplify a depth and breadth of product offerings that we have and APIs over the years to continue to introduce that magic moment, that wow moment that a builder comes to Twilio and says, wow, that was super simple, super easy and powerful. I want to go tell my team. Look what we can do with the power of Twilio at that simple layer. And so over time with a 16-year-old business, those types of complexities start to add up and those features and capabilities start to add up. So in some cases, it's how do we edit down and really simplify and really stay true to that Twilio magic moment, that aha moment of getting a product up and running. And then that smart layer is really thinking through how can we leverage AI for a lot of the automated communications that we see happening. How can we help our customers identify fraud faster with AI models, save on costs with automated AI agents and things like that, and then also then find more areas to drive revenue of opportunity where communications could be improved and more sales could be generated by leveraging some of the AI. So as we go through kind of that portfolio, I've led the voice product team since I started about 4 years ago, and I was a longtime customer of Twilio before that. That's really global scale. Consumers back to businesses, critical, make or break moments when they reach out to a business. How do they get their need addressed? And that can happen in a variety of ways. And so really making sure that that global platform is stable, up and running. You never even worry about the quality of a call you're going to have globally. And then you start thinking about all the other capabilities that you can do on top of it, of recording, transcribing, speech recognition, voices back in a automated virtual agent scenario for those types of things. And then on the video side of things too, we've got a big telemedicine, healthcare, education, financial services component where it's a small room, usually a one-to-one type scenario, and embedded in a customer's application. So it's very seamless. Customers and a telemedicine patient, for example, doesn't have to opt out to a third-party call or a Zoom call or Microsoft Teams or something else like that. They stay in that application of their of the business or the healthcare provider that they're dealing with, for example, making sure that type of stuff just works. And then as you get into the flex environment, a contact center as a service, we just see contact centers really being disrupted left and right. And our approach, again, is to build a platform where builders can embed these contact center capabilities like automated virtual agents and agent co-pilots right into their applications so they can really scale. They can automate a lot of areas of customer service. And then when they do have these critical make or break moments with consumers and their agents, that they're super agents. And so we empower them. And so I'm happy to share more about that. But that's kind of the depth and breadth of this big communications business and these three that I lead, and then really ensuring that trusted, simple, smart are this ethos that really blends into our product development. And then at the other side is ensuring that we leverage our position of just communications is hard. Twilio has built out that infrastructure for our customers. Data is hard to know who am I talking to? Who are these customers that I can personalize experience? And then leveraging AI as well to enhance that. That's kind of the other three layer of communications data and AI that we look at. That is just in my day to day, all day, every day as we build products.
Makes sense. I think as we build products, the trusted, simple, smart, and then you also said better, faster, easier are great mantras for lots of our listeners to be thinking about as they're leading their teams. So you mentioned AI. So let's explore that for a little bit. I know it's top of
Yeah.
mind for a lot of folks who listen to the podcast. How do you see conversational AI transforming customer support and engagement in the coming years? And where do you see opportunities or challenges with for brands as they look at how they adopt more AI-driven interactions?
Yeah, I think overall, it's this space, this industry is really, really ripe for disruption. Particularly over the last 2 years, the technology has really caught up with a lot of brands' ambitions, and by that I mean you've got a large amount of interactions, especially in the contact center space, that you have agents handling all day, every day, certain levels of lower level complexity type tasks. And they really want to be doing more complex and bigger, more impactful things. That happens to be that area where we're seeing AI really disruptive. So in that sense, you've got amazing innovations that have happened in things like speech recognition. And that's a really key piece that's AI driven there. And then you've got really amazing generative AI voices that on the other side. So you can build out these experiences that are really highly personalized contact center virtual agents to answer many of the customer support queries that might come in from a large volume of consumers at any given time. And if you think about it, as consumers, we want things to, when we have those make or break moments, we want things to get done really quickly. We want that agent that has the most knowledge about us and our behavior. Again, that contextual data. They understand us. They hear what we're saying on that side of things, and then they can actually take action and resolve any type of situation as fast as possible. So if you kind of take that just archetype of this super agent, then you start to have the technology that can do it. You can bring the data at the second a customer calls in, for example. They know it's Andy. They know it's me. They know my purchase history and my lifetime value and probably what I'm having problems with because I've been, trying to do a forgot password on a big purchase to try to complete my cart purchase in that type of example. Or I'm a really hot lead because I need to get a new mortgage and now I want to talk to somebody. Those types of scenarios where now conversational AI can know all of that data. They can be able to hear me and understand me. They can respond quickly, and they have all the knowledge in the world about the business and about the policies and about the product catalog and everything else like that. So we're starting to see, timing is everything. We're starting to see these things come together where, previously in old IVR worlds of interactive voice response of press 1 for this, press 2 for that type thing, maybe we'll kind of smartly, intelligently route you to an agent that might be able to help you and then have to start all over again. Those days are really over. And I think that's where, the things that Twilio's approach to this is being a builder platform. We have large, businesses that serve hundreds of thousands of customers in their own right to meet small and medium-sized businesses and sell software. So offering those solutions to them to then offer solutions to their customers that might, reach an end consumer at your local coffee shop or your local bike store or local realtor or something else like that. Really give these businesses the power that then also the big enterprises have, because that's also a big set of our customers too. So I think it's really interesting as we're moving from this kind of black box technology, AI models over here, into bringing them really close to these voice channels and messaging channels to be able to be really effective. And now, kind of chatbots and agents being this representation of your brand. It could be your website was that reputation of your brand, and social media is another outlet of your brand. I think we're going to see more and more of these agents being a representation of your brand, and handling many, many things that, for a long time, all of us, got used to pointing and clicking and waiting and emailing and waiting on hold and everything else like that, where that doesn't have to be the case any longer. So it's super exciting right now.
Yeah, the ability to truly improve the customer experience. I mean, I think that most folks would say when they're calling in to support, their bar is pretty low. They've had
Yeah.
their share of poor interactions, and I think the potential to really transform that, make it so much better for the consumer is amazing. So you started to go into this, but let's talk
Hmm.
a little bit about voice AI,
Yeah.
and how that is unlocking new ways to engage with customers. How is Twilio enhancing CX by using AI features like sentiment analysis or
Hmm.
transcription? And what impact do you see these having on that customer satisfaction side?
Sure. Yeah, and if you think about it, voice was the founding product that Jeff Lawson started the company with 16 years ago. That was the idea. Is essentially, we know that voice is a critical customer business interaction. It's the way we've always communicated for millions of years, and so that's the easiest, fastest way. Back to those types of words, easiest, fastest, simplest way for us to communicate our needs. And so, really eliminating the complexity of building that type of thing to reach consumers on a voice channel globally anytime. It was really the next logical move for us to move up stack and offer these things like real-time transcriptions to turn this audio that previously was ephemeral. Phone hangs up, all the data goes away, versus other channels that you track like crazy of clicks and everything else on a website and behavior, but then you don't do anything on the voice channel when those were the make or break moments that you talk to a customer and consumer. So that's where we really started through both acquisitions and investment starting years and years ago to turn that that ephemeral audio into really good structured data and first and zero party data to be super helpful. So starting with a voice intelligence product that we recently rolled out, which essentially bundles recordings, transcriptions, and language analysis, which use both ours and also open and closed source language models to analyze that content all in one place. So very quickly to a builder, all they have to do is just toggle it on at Twilio.com in their console, and they turn it on, and they go from this ephemeral audio to rich structured data that also can do sentiment analysis and really tell you in the span of that last 5-minute call that a consumer had, here's what they needed, their outcomes, the sentiment, the next best action for an agent or someone to be able to take, all with good PII redaction. So, no personal information is leaked, both in a transcription or an audio playback file as well. So you go from nothing to an extremely rich data set to be able to then inform your agent on the other side. So the next time around, you can see how should we automate that call based on all this data that we have. Now, if you think about doing it on one call and now think about doing it on, literally tens of millions of calls a day, how we can help our customers really build that out. And so we see that type of data as then foundational to inform you building out a conversational AI agent. So anyone that is building out these conversational AI agents, whether it be on the voice channel or others, you want to make it as smart about your business and your catalog as possible. And you really want it to be empathetic, where your customer, you have your agents wear your customers' shoes and know about them. And so as we introduce these things, we partner with the best of in speech recognition providers and voice providers that are out there. That space is moving so quickly. We view ourselves as bringing a platform approach, the best of this technology at any given moment, and kind of refresh your Twitter feed. There's bigger, better, faster models all the time. That we're doing that work for our customers, so they can come in and see that Twilio's abstracted all the crazy telecom away. And now they're abstracting all the kind of paradox of choice of picking speech recognition best of who are the best voices out there that can be the voice of my brand that sound really, really human-like. And then what are the right ways to hook this up to an LLM? And I'm not really sure there. How do we abstract all the way away from you so you can really think about what's the customer experience that I want to deliver? How do I plug this in? How do I integrate it into my systems that I have? My legacy systems, maybe my CRMs, my databases, my my data warehouses and things like that. So doing all of that work for our customers is what we really want to do, is try to abstract that complexity so they can get up and running and solve problems.
Yeah, that's a lot of heavy lifting that you're taking
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
How do you see the potential for autonomous agents shaping customer experience in the future? And what would maybe an ideal interaction with a virtual agent look like from the customer's perspective?
Yeah, it gets really interesting, and I think that as consumers too, again, we want to have to do as little effort as possible, as we should, to get something accomplished with a business. I think you'll see both autonomous agents from the consumer. I, Andy, have my own agent to you know go to website, return product that I have. Just take care of it. Do it for me on that side. So you've got a consumer type autonomous agent, and that obviously can over time will know more and more about me. I think that it's very early stages for that type of thing. But then you're also interacting with autonomous agents on the business side as well. I think the what gets interesting is the data, this data piece that is really critical. And I think that the way we're approaching it, we've acquired a business called Segment about 5 years ago, and it's a customer data platform, best of in industry. And so we thought, how do you bring best of customer data platform, best of CPaaS together to really make data be the thing that makes this communication, this automated communication, most effective? Because you can have a generic autonomous agent and a generic autonomous agent on the customer side interact. It could be interesting, but you don't always get things accomplished once you personalize that. So we are launching unified profile to make it really easy to get the best of customer data platform. So Andy's golden profile, if you will, always gets enriched by these communications to make those more effective. So I think as you see those autonomous agents, you've got this sense that they are able to know everything about their own business, know as much as humanly possible about you, and then start to interact to get things accomplished faster. That we're early stage. I think we're going to see more and more experimentation, and then a lot of analytics and testing. Like, so for the listeners here of how do we study what's the user experience of these autonomous agents, what's the data that comes out on the other side of what was really effective, is going to be really interesting to see over the next couple of years. And we'll continue to experiment and launch new cutting edge things. We launched speech to speech conversational AI with a partnership with OpenAI. We're going to continue to be a platform and partner with best of and continue to get those things to our developer customers so they can experiment on things like this. Just as much as that innovation happens, we want to be able to plug that into the Twilio infrastructure and make it accessible to our customers as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, that experimentation and the art of the possible is unbelievable in terms of the work that you guys are doing.
It's fun.
So with all of that cutting edge technology and all of that change, it feels like trust and privacy are going to be
Yep.
paramount in how we create, a positive customer experience, especially with voice-based interactions. So what should organizations be doing to ensure a secure, private handling of all of that data that's moving around?
Yeah, it's exciting to see the demo of art of the possible, and then say, I want to take that straight to production right away for my business and my company. And there's a lot of paths from that to production that you need to really be thinking about. So some of our approach, and this is just with all Twilio products, because we've been at the heart of our customers' communication with their consumers since company founding, is really baking in privacy into all of our products, and really that kind of idea of privacy by design. And in anything that we're doing, whether it's messaging, email, voice calls, that we are thinking about that because you're in that content of that call. So all the kind of standard protocols and procedures we have baked into our process. So access, data control, encryption, those types of things are just table stakes for developing anything like this, and a lot of strong privacy measures and reviews with all of our legal team on building any product out there. And again, with that idea of wearing your customer shoes, and also wearing ourselves as the customer shoes as consumers. What data do we want and do we feel comfortable with being passed around? So Twilio's got very, very strong and robust policies around that on privacy. So I think teams need to be thinking about that from the outset, and in some cases thinking about the what's the worst case scenario that could happen in this, and then back into all the solutions that you could bring. That's one piece, and we do bring a level of transparency to our customers, we launched as we really started getting more and more AI models, both internally and then with partners, out to our customers. We called it nutrition facts, and you've got a trust and transparency ethos where we want to know what's in our food, and so we have nutrition labels. So we'd say, here's what are the models behind these things powering what you might be using, and really being transparent about that, because many cases you might get a result, especially in generative AI, where you'd say, okay, what's causing that, and what models behind that. So we share that back, and I think we share that combined with showing the more richness in the contextual data that we can also help you bring, the better and more accurate these types of responses can be in the generative AI world. I mean, it's very simple. You can do prompts on ChatGPT standalone and get an output, and then you can give it a lot of data, of personalized data, and then do the same prompt, and you get a very different, much more effective response. Very similar in what we're doing with communications. And so, yeah, all those things that you need to do that might cause you to slow down before launch are critically important, because, as we all know, I mean, it takes a long time to build trust, and it only takes that one big scary moment to erode trust.
Very true. Very true. I love the nutrition label. I guess that's an analogy, not a metaphor. That I'm definitely going to be stealing that for the future. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I learned a ton. I really enjoyed the conversation. How does someone learn more about you and Twilio?
Sure. Twilio.com is the place. Tens of millions of developers and builders of all shapes and sizes and skill sets. That is the first main place to go. I would note that, on Twilio.com, we've got a ton of documentation, walkthroughs, tutorials, blueprints, blog posts that go really in depth to show the power of the platform. And then just, it's quickly and easy to sign up. I mean, that's been the ethos as well, is, no big barriers to get started, to go from idea to build, magic moment, share with friends, that first call, message, email, the like, that is super easy and usage based. So it's cost effective to get started and get that wow moment, and start playing around. So big community, lots of content also on in Twilio devs, and on social media as well too. So, but Twilio.com is the place to go, and you'll see a lot of content out there to help our customers out.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you again. Great conversation.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.